Hey, literary learners, I hope you all are doing well. We are continuing our adventure in the Middle Ages with me, Mr. Byer. Here are the South Carolina State Standards. The indicator summarized the increased global exchanges among world societies using the Crusades as a major turning point. Objectives students should be able to explain the economy and trade in Middle Age Europe. Essential questions: why do people trade? Guiding questions: how did Europe's geography affect trade? And how did the Crusades change Europe's economy? Europe's geography shaped the development of the region. Europe is a large peninsula with small peninsulas branching out. This means it had approximately 300 miles of seacoast, thus encouraging trade to grow the economy. Rivers such as the Rhine had deep enough rivers allowing ships to navigate. People could sail from rivers to the sea. The sea and rivers provided protection. The British Isles were isolated from the rest of Europe because of the English Channel. The Alps, another geographic barrier, allowed individual nations to form, like in Italy. The rugged physical features of Europe made it difficult for one nation to take over the whole continent. When the Roman Empire collapsed, trade also declined. Bridges and roads fell apart. Though around the thousands, the feudalist nobility would repair the roads. Technology produced more food and goods, increasing the continent's aggregate population. Redesigns of the plow that allowed farmers to dig deep and utilizing the earth's natural resources, such as windmills and water mills, improved agriculture. As trade increased, cities like Venice would become major trading hubs in Europe. They would trade with the Byzantine Empire. However, trade would come to a temporary halt when the Islamic Ottomans annihilated the Byzantium Empire in 1453, thus ending the Middle Ages due to certain variables. Many Europeans were in disbelief and reignited prejudice against Muslims. Nevertheless, countries like Venice and the Francia would trade with the Caliphate despite prejudice that developed from the Crusades. The Crusades, from the thousands to the 1200s, changed Europe significantly. When Europeans had access to the Silk Road, demand for Eastern products such as silk, lemons, and spice grew. The First Crusades sparked a trend that would have an undeniable economic and cultural impact on Europe and the Middle East. European fighters arriving from the Middle East came into contact with civilizations that were more advanced than their own. Merchants in the area already been trading with places further east, and demand for exotic goods shot up when Crusaders returned to Europe with plunder and purchased items. Wealthy merchants would trade these products in trade fairs. Mercantilism would eventually become the dominant economic system where people used gold and silver as forms of payment instead of trading products with other products called bartering. Wealth caused by trade fundamentally changed the way Europeans lived. Nobles started to free their serfs, thus allowing kings to centralize their roles in kingdoms. Furthermore, the growing middle class demanded more rights and protections. This limited powers from the top of the hierarchy. They made laws such as the Magna Carta, a document influenced the way governments, like the US, treats their citizens. So think to yourself about the economic impacts trade had on medieval Europe.